Alright gang, welcome back to our Can You Survive 25 challenge here in Zielonka. It's February and it is snowing and it's going to snow most of the day. Today we don't actually have a ton to do, if I'm honest with you. We do have a few things that we need to accomplish as far as selling goes. Stuff you're relatively used to us doing. We're going to sell these wood chips first off. Once we get all these wood chips sold, we're going to turn this trailer back into a flatbed, and then we're going to go pick up our pickled tomatoes, lettuce, and peppers, chili peppers, and go and sell those. It's the best time really to sell those too, so should be a good day for us to produce and make us a lot of money. And as you can tell, we have $85,000 in the account right now, which is fantastic. It's money that we desperately do need. We've got a lot of things we need to accomplish in this series, and we're trying to get back in the groove of doing so. More specifically than anything is we really need to start getting some kind of a yard set up for Farm 2, right? We've got some of the equipment. We still need some more, but we have some of the equipment that we need for Farm 2, but we need to buy some more. We need to buy some land where we can turn it into a yard. That area that I wanted to buy, as we talked about in previous episodes, just not going to work out for us. Unfortunately, it's way too expensive. We won't have anywhere near the amount of money we require for that for a long, long time. So, going to be better for us to try to find somewhere else potentially to make that Farm 2 yard at. So we'll have to look into that and see what we can find with the $85,000 we have, plus whatever we make today, which, as I mentioned, I'm expecting quite a bit of money today. Today is a great day for us to sell a lot of stuff. The wood chips are starting to drop, but they're still a really good price, so we're still going to make a good chunk of change off of this. And yeah, things are going to hopefully continue to look good for us. I fully expect that we are going to be somewhere in the $115,000 to $120,000 range today, which is a lot of money, right? This map has a lot of smaller fields that are not outrageously expensive, so this should really, really make an impact for us and the things we need to accomplish. A couple other things we need to do for Farm 1 just to make sure that we have Farm 1 really solidified. Obviously, we need to buy some more greenhouses and things like that as we move along here, but we are still missing a few things that are required as far as the rules go, which the rules are down below in the description in case you don't know what those are and you stumbled across this. But long story short, we do need to have a silo on the actual farm itself, Farm 1, even though we likely won't really be utilizing that silo, except for maybe wood chips. I guess we could try to find something for that, potentially, that will store that. And 2, we need another barn of some sort. We've got one, and we have a buying silo, which is a silo technically, but not really according to the actual terms and rules of that Farm 1. So we need to get another silo. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, all things considered. We need to also think about, maybe putting down another one of those water transfer tanks there. We are really starting to run out of water in a lot of these greenhouses, and if we add any more, we certainly are not going to be able to continue to keep up. That thing really can't keep up as it is right now anyway. A lot of these take up quite a bit of water. And if we add more, obviously it's going to be a lot more difficult for it to even put a little bit in most of those, right? So I think we need to put down one, maybe even 2 more of those. And then we're probably going to have to top up a lot of those with our water tank, which really is our fertilizer tank, I guess, as well. Just to make sure that they're in, a good working order, if you will. I want to continue to make sure there's water in there so they don't stop production because they ran out of water, right? We don't want that to happen. So those things will also have to happen more than likely today, which is going to take up a chunk of money there. At least the setup that we're going to make that transfers the water, right? That's going to cost us a little bit of money. So that's going to take away from some of that money that we make from all of this. But nonetheless, things are doing well. Things are going well, I should say. We are doing well. And yeah, we're cruising along, man. We're cruising along. Very happy we got back into this series. It was a long hiatus and needed to kind of have a bit of a reboot. I'm happy we did it. I'm very happy with the approach we have now. I'm very happy with where we're going. We've got a long ways to go still. More than likely, I think I mentioned this in previous episodes, but more than likely this series is going to be one there where we're going to eventually own the entire map. It's a series that, in theory, is supposed to go until the next iteration of Farming Simulator. It's probably going to be at least another 2 years, bare minimum, if not 3, probably before you see one. I think the shortest it's ever been is 2 years, but normally they're about 3 years or so between each game. So we just, a couple months back, elapsed 1 year in this game, which is absolutely crazy to think about. As a matter of fact, that is insane to me to think about. To me, it doesn't feel like this game's been out for a year, but it has. So, yeah. Anyway, we got a ways to go, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. So the odds are we're going to own most of this map. So right now we're at 93,487. We're going to head up to the shop here. We're going to modify this trailer into a flatbed again, and then it's going to be a matter of us stacking up all of those pickled production items onto it. There's quite a bit, I think, in our pickled production that are in storage. Actually, not as much as I thought, but there's still a lot, as a matter of fact, that are in the actual incoming materials. As you can see, the tomatoes are still maxed out. We still have one greenhouse which is trying to transfer tomatoes, and it just hasn't been able to get all of those over there. So there's still quite a lot in there. The lettuce and the chili peppers are going to be full before you know it. So then at that point, I think we're just going to have to turn those greenhouses onto auto-selling at that point, because the pickled production can't keep up. That, or we find another production to put down, which we very well might do, where we can transfer some of those into that other production as well, right? Everyone seems, for the most part, to really like the whole idea of keeping things kind of, you know, color coordinated, if you will, and I think it was a fantastic idea. Obviously, as I mentioned in the past, it's not going to be something we're going to be able to do for every piece of equipment, but if we can, it certainly will help, right? A couple of people were asking about, you know, changing the rim colors and things like that. I'm not normally one that loves changing the rim colors. I like the yellow here on the John Deere trailer that we kind of sorted it out to kind of look like the yellow on the John Deere tractor. But I think a lot of the time I'm probably not going to be changing the rim colors. It's probably going to be a white to black, maybe a silver or a gray, something like that. But I'm probably not going to really deviate all that much from that. It just doesn't, in my eyes, I don't think it looks that great. The yellow ones are you know, a little bit different because I'm just so used to seeing John Deere's. I've told you before, I'm a John Deere guy, really. I always kind of have been, so I'm used to growing up seeing the yellow rims. But you know, if you try to do like a blue rim or a red rim, I don't know what it is about it. It just doesn't look right to me. Yellow with the John Deere seems to be the only one that looks correct to me. And now, having said that, the JCB has yellow rims as well. But I guess you get what I mean. Hopefully, you get what I mean. All right, let's jump into that JCB. Speaking of that. And before we get started, though, stacking all of these up here, what I am going to do is put down another one of those water distributor things, and hopefully that will continue to help us here. Now, they aren't the cheapest thing in the world. Speaking of that, is there anything out here in the used market? Ooh, there's a forklift out here. A nice little trailer out here. There's some headers here. Gigantic headers, as a matter of fact. This sprayer might be something that we should consider picking up. We might want to pick that up. Although we might be plowing the entire time, so are we going to use it that much? I don't know. But we can utilize it for contracts too, right? There's going to be a period of time where we're probably going to need some contracts that we have to do, and that will give us that opportunity. We'll hold off for right now, but this is... there's some nice stuff out here. We normally don't get this kind of stuff out here. This is nice. It's just the trailer itself just doesn't hold that much, right? It's just you know, it's a little unfortunate. I would love to use this thing at some point. I just can't seem to figure out a way to really use it. I can't figure out a way that it makes sense to use. So anyway, let's get down here into the construction menu. And I don't know where I'm going to put it. I guess I'll put it over here as well. This is kind of an area where it's by this, you know, billboard. I don't think there's really going to be a whole lot we can put over here. Maybe some generators or something like that, potentially. I'm kind of forgetting what it's under. Is it under container? I forget where this is at. No. It must be tools. Okay, maybe it's production or factories. I don't remember where it is, but I just know that this is still in here somewhere. Yep, there it is. $3,000. So it's not outrageously expensive, but, you know, it is something that'll help us. Okay, so it says overlap, but really, it really doesn't make that big of a difference to me if it overlaps. I don't really care that much. I guess it's probably because it's hitting the tree, maybe. Maybe that's why it's saying that. I think right there is going to be fine. I kind of like the way that that's set up. So we'll put it there. And then we just got to turn this on. And then put it on distributing. And that's going to continue to produce, right? It's going to produce more water for us. Is it going to be enough to keep up with all this stuff? Probably not. Probably not. Perhaps we should put another one down while we're here. I mean, a third one probably wouldn't hurt. Maybe that will be able to keep up for the time being until we start adding more. Then obviously we're going to be in the same situation, I feel like. But I don't know where I would put the third one, though. I guess I could put it over here in front of the billboard. I just block the billboard. I'd be one of those people that hates the billboard or something and blocks it. I'm a farmer that doesn't like that the billboards are there, right? I guess I could do that. The billboard company would probably be pissed at me, but... I don't know. I don't know if that's the way to go. Maybe I put it over here in front of this one, maybe. I'm going to put it there. If I need to put another one, I can put it there. We're just going to kind of make our own little area. I don't really want to go any further than these trees here, though, because my goal really at this point is start adding more greenhouses this way. Granted, there's not a ton of room here, but that's still my goal. It's just to kind of have the greenhouses running this way. I said that before, and then maybe some more over here, but we've got to do some more productions, too. I think we know that, right? We know for a fact we're going to have more productions to do. So hopefully those three will do the trick. I would never sell the water. That's not something I'm going to want to do. I'm just utilizing that to try to help me. Especially, right now it's not too bad, but when we get a little bit further along here and we've got a lot more going on, it's going to help us out tremendously to not have to do that, that maintenance of moving water around, right? It's going to help us out so much. But we might need a lot of those, as we talked about, right? We might need a lot of them, but... Even if it's just going to be, something to help us, hold it over until it's the winter months when there's less to do, I think it's still going to be a good thing. And like I said, eventually, with this series, you're probably going to have multiple episodes per month. I mean, I don't see any way that we won't be doing that, just because there is going to be so much to do, right? There's going to be so much to do, so... I'm going to stack these two up there. There's probably going to be more that spawn there. I would be very surprised if they don't. But we're going to stack these two up here for the time being. Nope, wrong one. Well, I must be running into something. I better go on this angle so I can actually see what the heck I'm doing. Alright, that'll work. It's not perfect, but that'll work. Yeah, more spawn. That's what I kind of expected to happen. So we've got a lot to do here. We've got a lot of these to put up here on the actual trailer itself. So we're going to get to work. We're going to get all of these up there. Let's get to work. I'm not sure if I put this in a time lapse or not. I probably will, just because, like I said, there's not really a ton for us to do today except for selling stuff and maybe buying some stuff, which is going to be exciting. Let's get to work, huh? right, those are all stacked up there. Was not the best job in the world, but you know, they're up there. It's fine. So it looks like the supermarket, it seems like it's the supermarket every single time. Actually, the lettuce is better, looks like, in March, but the price right now is about as near. It makes no difference at the supermarket, so we'll go to the supermarket. Yeah, everything's a supermarket except for the tomatoes. They want to go to the train. But the train, you've got to lease it. It's $3 difference. I'm not worried about that. We're heading to the supermarket. This is a lot of pickled items. Lettuce, chili peppers, tomato. It's a lot. This should be good money. Hopefully. Yeah, this should produce a good amount of money. I think we're going to be... Man, every time I hit that little bump there and it just sends me all over the place. I think I'm going to be a little off on what I said. Granted, I spent $6,000 already. But I did say I thought we were going to be closer to like 120. Just looking at this, I'm not quite sure we're going to make it there. We're probably going to be looking more like 105, maybe 110 at the best. So, you know, I guess we'll figure it out as we move along here. But it's going to be less than what I had initially told you and said, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, it is a good chunk of money for us. And we're going to be able to do some things with it for sure. I'm not sure yard 2 where that's going to be at. You know, with the amount of money we have, there's really endless possibilities, but there's certainly not going to be everything available to us for sure with that kind of money. We are definitely going to need a little more money if we wanted something more specific, I guess is how I will put it. Now, there will be a bit of a negative environmental score here. We are playing with precision farming on. When I had initially started this series, precision farming was not on because it wasn't around yet. But now that it's here, there will be a bit of a different one, for sure. Yeah, so minus 545 environmental score on that just right there alone. Oh, please don't flip. Oh my goodness, I almost flipped that thing. All right, there we go. 117. Actually, I was a lot closer than I thought I was going to be. I thought we were going to be 105, 110. So we were actually closer to the 120. So I was right to begin with. I should have just stuck with it. And I changed it. So anyway. Let's head back, and then we'll see what we can get into here with this money. We're definitely going to be spending a good chunk of it today. I think what I would love to do is get, like I said, Farm 1 set, ready to go, where we don't necessarily have to put anything else down. Unless we want to, right? Which obviously we're going to put down more greenhouses and some productions there for it. But we don't necessarily have to worry about any of the other specific rules for Farm 1. And then we can go from there with the money we have, and that rest of that can kind of start focusing on a little bit of Farm 2 if we want to, right? Not really anything to do with Farm 2 right now, right? It's the winter months. There's not really a whole lot we can do there. But eventually there will be. Eventually there will be. And it would be nice, since we're making a little bit of money right now, to go the approach, I guess, of trying to get ourselves prepared, right, for the months coming here. Sunflowers is what we said we were going to do there, and sunflowers I think we can start planting next month. Yeah, we can start planting sunflowers in March, so technically we can drill our field next month. So we just need to make sure that we've got enough to be able to accomplish everything we want to do over there, which we've got the drill. We do know that, right? But there's some other things we really need to do as well, like liming and things like that, right? We haven't done any of that yet. I don't even think we've bought the what's it called? Why do I always blank on what it's called? No. We haven't bought the soil information, right? So we probably should do that too. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do that now. $1,575. We've got the soil information now, so now we know pH value, nitrogen. Yeah, so we really should probably put down some lime there. Doesn't necessarily have to be today. We can do it next month. But we definitely should consider doing that. I guess I'll put it that way. Not sure when the snow is going to start sticking on the ground. I would suspect it's going to be pretty soon, but for the time being, we're good. All right, so we've got 115,000. So we talked about what we have to do. We need a shed and we need a silo. Really, I would prefer to have, you know, a very inexpensive silo, like I said, that can hold wood chips, but there's not really, I don't have a whole lot that's installed. As a matter of fact, this is probably what we should have did, this water pump station. This thing is pretty legit. We probably should do this. Well, let's see how those three do, and then if we need to put this down, we can. It's only $3,000 as well. Maybe that's something else we can do. Land not owned anyway. But yeah, maybe we can consider putting this one down. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so we've got this $12,000 silo here, which I kind of like this silo a lot. I think it's a pretty cool looking silo. I mean, part of me kind of wants to like tuck it away somewhere because, again, we're not really, unless it's wood chips, I mean, we're really not going to be using this. That's my opinion on it, at least. We're not really going to be using it at all. Or maybe I just stick it there, because, I mean, we're never going to drop anything in there either. We're just doing the automatic deposit, right? So maybe we just kind of put it here over top of our grate. I don't know. A little unrealistic, but maybe that's what we end up doing. What do we have? What's the difference between these two? I don't know what the difference is. I don't know. They look the same to me. So anyway, I guess what I'm trying to get at is there's not anything inexpensive, really. $12,000 is what we're spending. It's the cheapest one. And that's if we can even utilize it. If we just go to regular silos, because I feel like the wood production we have, it has like enough storage, I feel like. I mean, it has 1 million liters of storage for the wood chips. So really, in my eyes, we should just try to find the cheapest silo we can get to put down here. Like, why even spend the extra money, right? So like this $10,000 silo, like that's cheaper. So maybe we just put that one down. Or this $7,000, right? This $7,000 one, that's what we're going to put. It's cheaper. A silo extension needs to be placed next to a silo. Oh, we're in extensions. Oh, shit. Duh. I thought we were in regular silos. Whoops. Okay. $8,000. $8,000 is what we're looking at. That's significantly cheaper, right? Significantly cheaper. Problem is, it takes up a lot of space. This one does. You know what I mean? It takes up a lot of space. I don't really want to put it here because this is an out, you know, an exit for us, if you will. I don't love this one because it has those areas that stick out like that. It just takes up a lot of space. I'm kind of considering a different one, although all the other ones are way more expensive. Being a little wishy-washy here, gang, but just bear with me for a minute. We'll figure something out here. Yeah, those are just, they're too expensive, man. They're just too expensive. I mean, this one would be better, I think. Maybe I just put it back here. Okay, our silo's there. Never going to use it, but it's there. And I think it kind of looks cool, too. It looks like it's attached to this production here, right? I think that's a cool little addition, so we'll go with that. So the silo's done. We just need the shed now. Again, I would really... I'm just going to go with like the cheapest shed I can find here because we're really not going to utilize it all that much. I mean, there's I mean, maybe I store the tractor here and maybe we buy one or two other things, sure, but I mean, we're really not going to use it. This just, in my opinion, this is awesome, but it just takes up too much space. But it's only $1,000. So that's the difference, right? It takes up too much space, but it's only $1,000. I mean, this is not really a shed. I don't really think I can count this as a shed. Although I'd like to just kind of lean this up against the edge of the house here and say, there we go, we're done. But it's not really a shed, is it? And it is too big for our tractor, which is really what I'd want to use it for. Yeah. I don't know, gang. I don't know. That one would work. I don't love the color, though. Can I change the color? Yes, I can. I would love to have like a paintbrush picker or whatever, or like an eyedrop picker where I could pick a color that's in the middle of the map. Like that'd be a good addition to this game, right? It kind of matches a little bit. This might be kind of stretching the rules here a bit. Rusty might be yelling at me about it, but you know, whatever. Is that gonna work? Or is that too unrealistic? I feel like that's too unrealistic. If I stick it out the other way, though, it's probably a little bit better. Well, it's down. We're done. It's sticking out a little bit here on the edge, but I mean, it's fine. It should, in theory, let's make sure I did this right. It should fit our tractor, which is really the only other thing that we're probably going to, major thing we're going to probably purchase for this portion, right? Maybe we buy a semi or something like that, but yes, it will fit the tractor. It's snug, but it fits. I'm inside the house now. That's not really a good thing, I guess. Anyway, it does work. It's just a little snug. The color-wise, again, not perfect, but you could argue that this is like a new extension that was added. It looks the color looks the same. This is just more faded on the side of the house, right? I think it works. I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts on it. I think it works. All right, so we've got $98,000 to play with. It's not a ton of money. It's really not. It's not a ton. This is the plot of land I've talked about in the past, in case you're new here and stumbled across it. $803,000 for some godforsaken reason. It doesn't make any sense. If you look at the size of it, not that one. If you look at the size of it, it just goes out here to the end past these trees. It doesn't make any sense. Like this one is a bigger plot of land. It's only 207. It does have some stuff on it. Here, let's just jump over there really quick and I can kind of show you. It does have some stuff on it, but this stuff, it's not worth $800,000. That's $54,000 for that. $3,000, almost $4,000, $14,000, and $82,000. I mean, you're not even close. It has this. There's a creek going through it, and then some of these trees. There's nothing on here that like even makes up $800,000. I don't even know where that amount came from. Like that's an astronomical amount. I feel like it should have been like 180, maybe 280. I'll even give you 280 for it. Although this one's 207, so I don't know. But anyway, so obviously, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that's not going to work. This field next to it would also probably be a great field to have because they're right next to each other. But again, $106,000, we don't have that right now. Hell, this field here, which comes with all of this land, is $755,000. But this one, nope, that's $803,000. It doesn't compute to me. None of that computes. But anyway. Okay, so we really don't have what I would say is enough money to really purchase anything in this vicinity. So we're going to have to branch out elsewhere. What does that mean? Well, I mean, we're going to have to look around here, I guess, a bit. So this is the area that's right by the shop. Lots of trees on it. We'd have to get rid of all those trees. I don't necessarily know if that's something I want to do. We did own this land at one point in the initial kickoff of this series. Then we obviously sold it back when we did the reboot. Perhaps we buy, one of these two here, and then maybe we turn this into our yard area. I think it's relatively flat. Actually, it's not that flat, is it? It's kind of on a hill, so it's not that flat. We just need to find somewhere for our yard area. Right now, we're just kind of taking up, well, really, it's the neighbor's area. It's not even our yard. I don't know what to do, gang. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what to do. Let me look around the map here instead of just being wishy-washy back and forth with you on camera. Let me look around the map and let me see if I can find anything that would fit what we're trying to do here. Okay, so for the time being, I think I'm just going to buy some equipment, which is kind of what we talked about at the beginning of the episode, right? We know we're going to need some equipment for Farm 2. Let's go ahead and do that since we don't really have a good choice of where we're going to go. I thought about maybe buying one of these two and eventually probably both of them. I'm still kind of leaning towards maybe these two as being the yard area. It's a little far away from our field here, but I'm kind of leaning towards that. Maybe change my mind, maybe not, who knows. But for the time being, we do need to get some stuff we know for a fact for next month because we can put the sunflowers in next month. So first thing I would like to do is get a fertilizer and a lime spreader. There is this lizard colossus. We are utilizing mods on this series that we do have, so we can go ahead and buy this. It is a good price, honestly. 21 grand is pretty inexpensive. We're going to put the US on there. Capacity, evidently I can go up to as much as I want, and it costs no extra money. I'm not too concerned about being super unrealistic in this series because that's not really the main objective here. I can do really whatever I want, and I think in the long run, this is going to help us out tremendously. So I'm just going to put it on 4 times. It's literally just going to be a storage thing. It's not like it's making the spread be wider than it is. It already has a wide spread. So it's not like it's, making a crazy spread of any sort. What? Oh, now I forget what blue we used. Oh, boy. Was it Limkin blue? That looks an awful lot like the one we used. It has to be that one, right? Or is the Skoda Richard blue? Oh, man, I don't even know. I guess what I can do is look at this planter, because I don't think I can change the color, but I can at least look at it. This is the color we were trying to mimic. I don't remember. I know it might sound crazy. I don't remember. Ooh, is it 100K more? Well, 100K is more. That's 40,000 versus 100. We might as well do the 100. It doesn't cost us any money. I feel like we did the Limkin blue. This looks very close, in my opinion. I'm going to keep with the... Ooh, I don't really like that. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's go with the black there. I was going to say, I don't really like that one. I don't know if I like that either, if I'm honest with you. But I'm pretty sure it was Limkin blue. I'm going to keep those as a blue there. It's so bright. Like, it's blinding my eyeballs. It's so bright. I'll go with the black. I mean, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. That's my opinion. Rim color. We can do that. We can make that. That kind of ties it together because I've been kind of going with that light blue and a white and black. I guess there's been a bit of red as well, but yeah, we'll go with that. So that's $20,500. We made a little more money, by the way. We flipped to another hour. 10 o'clock hit, so we made a little bit more money off those trees and everything. So we'll buy that. I'm just going to leave it at the shop for right now. We're going to buy some lime for it anyway. We're not going to need a ton. And now remember, the way that this series works is I'm not allowed to go up here and use our buying silo up here. It has to be completely separate. Farm 2 cannot be the same stuff cannot be utilized in Farm 2 as it is in Farm 1. So that's why we really need a yard, right? So we can buy some of this stuff ourselves. But where I was thinking about putting the yard at anyway, it's not really what I would say that much further away from the actual shop. So you might as well just go to the shop, if that makes sense. I'm going to the wrong menu here. Okay, so we got that. What else do we need? We've got the drill, we've got the plow. Well, we got the planter, we got the plow, we've got the harvester, we've got the lime and fertilizer spreader now. I guess there's a chance for the spraying, but again, if I'm going to be plowing it up every time instead of cultivating, does it really matter? Maybe eventually it will. I think I'm going to hold off. I don't think I'm going to buy that. I think I'll hold off for the time being. It might be smart for us to buy this, though, for Farm 2. I do have the multiple bale and pallet mods on, but I talked about how I if I have to do it, which I did earlier already, and then I will, but really I still want to try to continue to do it the realistic way by utilizing some kind of a telehandler, forklift, whatever, front loader, whatever. 17,000 is, I feel like, a pretty good price. So it kind of makes me, evidently you can't change the main color of this. What's it changing? Oh, really? It just changed that little pipe, that little axle pipe? That's it? That's all it changed? Well, I mean, I guess the good thing is that it is partially the red is part of it, right? The planter itself has red on it too. I think we have to buy this, gang. I think it would be dumb for us not to. I think it would be dumb to not buy this. Do we need both? Cost 400 for both. I don't think we do. I'm just going to go with one. We're just going to go with this. It looks a little weird with that blue there, but whatever. 18,159. All right, these are the 61. I don't think we're going to need anything else besides that. Granted, I didn't really need to buy that forklift right now, but it just was a good deal. I felt like it would be a shame to pass that up. Can I? Okay, why can't I flip to my forklift now? I bought this forklift and now it won't let me flip to it. Why? What? Hey? I bought it. It's mine. Why won't it let me switch to it? Oh, maybe I just made a big mistake here. Why won't it let me... I don't think this has an ability. I was hoping that I might be able to hook this to the back of it, but I don't think it has the ability to do so. It doesn't. I don't even know why I backed it up. I can tell you just by looking at it. It doesn't have a PTO or anything. So why can't I actually flip to that? Isn't that a little weird? Odd. Very odd. Well, I don't know. That's super weird, right? That is super weird. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, the last thing we're going to do, we're going to put down one more greenhouse. Now, the odds are, or I'm lost here. Here we go. We're probably not really going to be able to do a whole lot with this greenhouse right now. We're going to have to buy stuff for it and everything, but... which one did we do here? Did we do this one? Or did we do these? Oh, those are the pumpkins and melons. These are outrageously expensive. Holy shit. This is not the same one I did. Where... Here it is. Here it is. Whew. I was going to say, what the hell just happened? That's not what I remember at all. We found it. That's good. Okay, so... I think I'm going to go down here. Probably sounds crazy because I just was talking about maybe putting it up there, but I think I'm going to go down here. And this is my OCD coming into play now. I really want these to be lined up. And it's hard to do on console. I'm using a controller. If there's a mouse or a keyboard, obviously that would be a little bit easier, right? I think that should work. Is it floating a little bit? Yes. Yes, it is. I don't love that. I don't love that at all. As a matter of fact, I hate that. But that's fine. It is what it is, I guess. There's nothing I can do about it now. It's down. I probably should have smoothed that area out a little bit. Or flattened it, whatever. As a matter of fact, I know I should have done that. But I guess later on we can touch that up. We can fix that later on, I suppose. I'm going to have to go get liquid fertilizer. Hell, we might end up keeping that forklift even at the shop. Who knows, right? We can always do that, too. That's always an option. So I'm going to top up this new greenhouse with some water here. We don't have any liquid fertilizer for it, which means we're going to have to go get some. I'm just going to put them on selling. That lettuce on selling. I feel like there's plenty going into here. Obviously, there's plenty going into here. A lot of them need more liquid fertilizer, though, don't they? I guess we could buy some liquid fertilizer. We got the buying point. We might as well do it, right? We might as well do it. Yeah, I don't love that. It is floating, and I don't love that at all. That is going to drive me crazy. OCD that I actually don't have, but I self-diagnose myself with it because some things like that just drive me nuts. That's going to drive me crazy. I can already tell you that. That is going to drive me crazy. Let's buy some liquid fertilizer nonetheless for the time being here. This is going to be expensive. I'm going to spend a good chunk of change here on this, actually, because it is going to be expensive. That'll work. 11 grand. Now, I want all of this to go into the new one for the most part. We're going to have to buy more for the other ones, but I want it to go into this one. Alright, did it go into the one that is selling? It did. Perfect. Okay. So the rest of these, really, we can kind of dump wherever. The nice thing, I guess, is they don't really hold all that much, right? Alright, there we go. They are pretty much filled back up. Now, the tree greenhouse might need some more soon, but I know I do have both liquid fertilizer and solid fertilizer in there, and I prefer to put the solid fertilizer in there, I think, because it doesn't really make a difference, right? But yeah, they are looking good. Everything else here is looking good. These water pumps, I think, are going to help tremendously. Having 3 of those, I think it's really going to help. So, we're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smashed that like and the subscribe button on the case you've yet to do so. They are free to do. They help me out an absolute ton. Thank you to my members. I cannot thank them enough for all of their continued support. There is a link down below in the description if you are interested in becoming a member. You get early access to videos like this one, including the very much popular competitive one-tile challenge. My other channels down there, doing playthroughs right now of Red Dead Redemption 2 and the most recent, the new DLC that just came out for Dynasty Warriors Origins. There's a new DLC that just came out. I'm excited about that. So if either of those interest you, maybe check out the other channel that's down below. My Discord is down there as well, which gives you access to any video that I release will get uploaded on there. You'll also be able to check out other individuals who might be sharing videos that they're making. You can share your own on there if you'd like. Etc. So everything's down below that you would ever need, as I always state. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. We'll see you next time, gang.